I welcome you all to the 34th National Youth Parliament at regional level. I hope that this session will be fruitful and informative. Members to take the oath or affirmation. Secretary, please.
Ms. Anubhuti A.S., who stands elected as MP from West Diamond Harbour constituency of West Bengal, will now come to take the oath or affirmation. Ms. Anubhuti, please. Madam, would you like to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In English, please. I, Anubhuti A.S., having been elected a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God solemnly that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
From Tumakuru constituency of Karnataka will now come to take the oath or affirmation. Mr. Chinmayanand, please. Sir, would you like to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In Kannada, please. ನಾನು ಚಿನ್ಮಯಾನಂದ್ ಆರ್.ಎಸ್. ಯುವ ಸಂಸತ್ತಿನ ಕೆಳಮನೆಯ ಸದಸ್ಯನಾಗಿ ಚುನಾಯಿತನಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಭಾರತದ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಗ್ರತೆಯನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಮೂಲಕ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿತವಾದ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಜವಾದ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ದೇವರ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಾನು ಪ್ರವೇಶಿಸಲಿರುವ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my duty to inform the House of the sad demise of our former colleague, Shri R. Dhruv Narayan, an agriculturist by profession and an active social worker. He worked in the rural areas, devoting his time and energy towards the welfare of agricultural laborers and the upliftment of the backward classes and the downtrodden. He was elected as a member of Lok Sabha twice. An able parliamentarian and an effective orator, he took keen interest in the proceedings of the House. He passed away at his residence in Bangalore on 11th March 2023 at the age of 61.
Madam, I rise to pay my tribute to Shri R. Dhruv Narayan, whose death has been deeply mourned by all. A hard-working and humble grassroots leader, he was a champion of social justice. He focused on special interest for the welfare of Adivasis, youth, rural and industrial laborers. He was a member of the 15th and 16th Kishore Youth Parliament and represented the chamber and constituency in Karnataka. He was with us to the very last moment. He seemed to be well and happy, and therefore the shock of his passing away is all the greater. He had a bright future before him. I shall like to extend my deep condolences to his bereaved family.
माननीय महोदया, मैं अपने आप को, आपको और सदन को नेता द्वारा दी गई श्रद्धांजलि से जोड़ता हूँ। मुझे श्री आर ध्रुव नारायण के साथ एक सहयोगी के रूप में काम करने का सौभाग्य मिला। वह 17वीं युवा संसद के लिए चुने गए थे और अधीनस्थ विधान संबंधी समिति के सदस्य के रूप में कार्यरत थे। वे अनुसूचित जातियों और अनुसूचित जनजातियों समिति के सदस्य, कल्याण सलाहकार समिति के सदस्य, वाणिज्य और पर्यटन मंत्रालय के रूप में भी कार्यरत थे। वे एक ऐसे व्यक्ति थे जो अपने स्नेहित व्यवहार के कारण कभी किसी को नाराज नहीं करते थे और हमेशा मुस्कुराहट से परिपूर्ण एक खुले दिल के व्यक्ति थे। हमने उनमें एक बहुत अच्छे सामाजिक कार्यकर्ता, राजनीतिक कार्यकर्ता और जनता के प्रतिनिधि को खो दिया है। मैं शोक संतप्त परिवार के प्रति अपनी संवेदनाएं भेजने में खुद को और अपने सदन को जोड़ना चाहता हूँ।
The House may stand in silence to express our deep sorrow. The Secretary General may convey the message of condolences to the bereaved family.
Madam, I will convey the message of condolence to the bereaved family.
Honorable Prime Minister to introduce the new ministers.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I take pleasure to introduce to you and through you Mr. Rahul, Minister of Information and Broadcasting, and Mr. Rohit, Minister of Commerce and Industry.
Now the question hour may begin. Question 101, Mr. Rakshit, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, I'd like to ask a question from the Minister of Education through you. First of all, India is a developing country, and the youth plays a very important role in the development of any country. Will the Minister of Education be pleased to state the efforts being made by the government for developing the new future of youth through intellectual capabilities, innovations, and concrete policies?
Honorable Minister of Education, Ms.
Thank you. Keeping in view the broader aspects of a holistic learning for the children of the age group 3 to 18 years, which covers 15 years of the child's development, this government has brought in the National Education Policy 2020. This education policy emphasizes on the development of the creative potential of each individual, focusing not only on cognitive abilities but also on social, ethical and emotional capacities. Keeping this in mind, various initiatives and reforms have been introduced in higher education, like issuing of the University Grants Commission regulations. We are also giving guidelines for multiple entry and exit in academic programs and for transforming higher education institutions into multidisciplinary institutions. The introduction of the curriculum and credit framework for undergraduate programs and of the National Education Qualification Framework. I'd also like to add that this government is providing funds and professional guidance for innovations and experimentations at higher level institutions to instill the values of self-reliance in the youth of the nation. Thank you.
Any supplementary questions? Mr. Elvin, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, according to reports, close to 9 lakh Indians have given up their citizenship since 2015. In addition, 23,000 millionaires have left the country since 2014. Not just working professionals, India is also seeing a migration of talented students abroad. So, will the Minister of Education be pleased to state the steps that have been taken by the government to transform the scenario of the country from brain drain to brain reservoir and to make the country a storehouse of knowledge?
Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Dheera, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, thank you. I can see the concern raised by the opposition regarding brain drain from India and the adverse impact it has on the country's economy. I'd like to remind everyone that brain drain is a global issue and India is not the exception. Our country does make efforts to stop this, like promoting the Make in India initiative and promoting privatization. This government also permits
world-class institutes in Gujarat to offer courses in financial management, fintech, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Moreover, professionals who migrate can help establish international networks and collaborations which will lead to knowledge and technology transfer between countries. And mark my words, that day is not far when we will experience a reverse brain drain when our skilled professionals will return home due to improved conditions which will lead to a brain gain. For this cause, we are providing affordable education, good quality infrastructure, competitive pay, and professional opportunities which will help reduce the brain drain from India. I'd like to conclude by saying that India aims, works, and strives hard for an education system that provides high-quality education with equitable access for all learners irrespective of their social or economic backgrounds. Thank you.
जो न होगा शिक्षित समाज हमारा, मुश्किल हो जाएगा सबका गुजारा। आज हम शिक्षा नीति पर बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं। समग्र शिक्षा, नई शिक्षा नीति, रिमोट लर्निंग, सब बड़ी बड़ी बातें। परंतु क्या ऐसे नहीं लगता कि हम आज भी उसी ढर्रे पर है? ओल्ड वाइन इन न्यू बॉटल।
Silence, please. Kindly maintain the decorum of the house.
मैं कहना चाहती हूँ कि कुछ ज्यादा वक्त लगेगा, पर संघर्ष जरूर सफल होगा। हर एक संकट का हल होगा, वह आज नहीं तो कल होगा।
Question 102, Mr. Abbas, please.
Well, Speaker Ma'am, I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to seek clarity on this important matter. I'd like to address my questions to the Minister of Health and Family Welfare. Honorable Minister, could you kindly enlighten the esteemed Assembly about the range of initiatives taken by the government to ensure the comprehensive well-being of rural women and children? How have these schemes positively impacted the health status of these vital segments of our population?
Honorable.
एक महिला के लिए खास होता है उसका गर्भ का पल। एक महिला के लिए खास होता है उसका गर्भ का पल, क्योंकि उसमें बसा हुआ होता है उसका आने वाला कल। Rural women experience poorer health outcomes and have less access to healthcare than urban women. We are trying to connect, communicate, and capture them with the prospect of good healthcare services. As seen in the rural areas, women are not expected to raise their voices, let alone express their problems. So we are trying to make them open up to us about their various problems. Our ministry has also established 1,60,816 Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers. These centers offer comprehensive primary healthcare services which are delivered universally, free of charge, and in proximity to the communities. The Ayushman Health Melas serve as effective platforms for optimizing service utilization and raising health awareness. Teleconsultation services facilitated by the eSanjeevani ensure medications reach people's doorsteps. The National Free Drugs Initiative provides crucial medications at different levels of healthcare. Additionally, the National Mobile Medical Units extend primary healthcare services to rural and remote areas. I'm also proud to say that Anemia Mukta Bharat, operating as part of Poshan Abhiyan, focuses on comprehensive testing and treatment of anemia in school-going adolescents and pregnant women. Schemes like the Universal Immunization Program, Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram, and Nutrition Rehabilitation Centers significantly contribute to improving child survival rates and providing maternal health care. I must also add that the ASHA workers are doing a great job. There is an increase of 50% in terms of awareness as compared to 10 years ago. Even in our hospitals, we receive less anemia and UTI cases as compared to 10 years ago. I must also say that we women are beautiful creatures. Independence is our jewel, while health our crown. We need the rural women to realize this as they suffer more and more. All the stigmas and taboos related with women's health are deep-rooted in the hearts of our rural society. But I would also like to add that we are actively addressing these roots. The fifth target of Sustainable Goals Development is reducing childhood mortality rate to 75 per lakh live births. At present, this figure is at a staggering 113 per lakh live births. By bringing down this childhood mortality rate, we can empower women to live healthy and fulfilling lives. However, we will not leave this problem alone until our mission is achieved and accomplished. अंत में मैं बस इतना कहना चाहती हूँ कि स्वास्थ्य है सबका अधिकार, स्वास्थ्य है सबका अधिकार, मिले सभी को यह उपहार, ना कोई कस्बा ना टोला छूटे, स्वस्थ चिकित्सा घर घर पहुँचे.
Question 103, Mr. Tushar, please.
माननीय महोदय, देश की क्षमता, आकलन, पहचान उसकी सैन्य शक्ति से पहचानी जाती है. India has a huge responsibility to safeguard its territory. However, India has also been one of the largest importers of defense equipment in the world, which poses a challenge to its self-reliance and indigenous capabilities. So, my question is, what are the steps taken by the government to encourage the indigenous industries to contribute towards defense modernization instead of using bulk imports?
Honorable Minister of Defense, Ms. Hia, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, ma'am. मेरे माननीय मित्र ये भूल रहे हैं, स्वदेशीकरण का गौरवपूर्ण नजारा भारत ने 23 अगस्त को विश्व को दिखा दिया. विक्रम जो चांद पर पहुंचा, ना रूस का था ना जापान का, ना अमेरिका का, वहां पर तिरंगा फहराने वाला हमारा हिंदुस्तान था. With a view to encourage the indigenous industry to contribute towards defense modernization, the funds for the financial year 2023-24 have been earmarked in the ratio of 75:25, where 75%, that is 99,223.03 crores, is for domestic procurement, and 25%, that is 33,078.24 crores, is for foreign procurement. Further, the government has taken several policy initiatives in the past few years and brought in reforms to encourage indigenous design, development and manufacture of defense equipment, thereby promoting self-reliance in defense manufacturing and technology in the country. To ensure indigenization of defense, the government is no doubt heading in the right direction by laying an emphasis on the Make in India. It is the implementation that needs to be fine-tuned. Some of the steps taken in this direction are: 1. Simplification of industrial licensing process with a longer validity period. Liberalization of foreign direct investment policy, FDI, allowing 74% FDI under automatic route. Second, launch of Mission Dev Space. Launch of Innovations for Defense Excellence, IDEX scheme, involving startups and micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME. We have also launched a portal, Srijan, to facilitate indigenization by Indian industry, including reforms in the offset policy with thrust on attracting investment and transfer of technology for the defense. Establishment of 2 industrial corridors, one each in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, has been done. Opening up of defense research and development, R&D, for industry, academia and startups with 25% of defense research and development budget has also added up to defense modernization. Lastly, I would like to inform the House that the Indian SMEs, small and medium enterprises, are playing a key role in the global supply chain of OEMs, original equipment manufacturers. It will reduce the arms imports, thus boosting the economic growth of the nation. The increase in domestic arms production capacity will strengthen the national security and will also allow India to export its weapons to other nations. अंत में मैं सदन को और मेरे साथियों को बस यह बताना चाहती हूं कि दुनिया की फौज में हमारा तीसरा सम्मानित स्थान है. दुनिया की फौज में हमारा तीसरा सम्मानित स्थान है. उभरता हुआ आत्मनिर्भर हमारा हिंदुस्तान है. धन्यवाद.
Question 104, Mr. Surya, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, through you, I would like to ask my question to the esteemed Minister of Agriculture. As per reports, we see a significant increase in food grain production. Could you please elaborate on the recent developments and achievements that has contributed to the enhancement of our country's agricultural sector?
Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Ms. Pratyusha, please.
Livelihood completely depends on agriculture. कृषि और किसान हमारे देश की आर्थिक अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ की हड्डी है. कृषि हमारी आन है तो किसान हमारा अभिमान है. Therefore, Indian agriculture and Indian farmers both are essential in every manner. For the same, the government has taken various steps to help them and the sector's growth. As a result, today, agriculture has become an emerging sector with latest innovations. These are the innovations which we have adopted and is being implemented, like use of artificial intelligence, water management initiative, gross irrigated area-based agriculture, modern greenhouse, drones, cloud seeding to tackle drought, like to mention a few. We are also trying to provide business counselors for farmers. There's something changing, जो हम और आप मिलकर करेंगे. India is considered the largest producer of fruits and the second largest producer of vegetables. The beauty of agriculture is that it is a farmer's culture. Thank you.
हाल देश के किसान का बड़ा बदहाल है, पर हमारी सरकार तो बड़ी माला माल है. फांसी का फंदा किसानों की वसीहत, पर सरकार को इससे नहीं कोई दिक्कत.
Silence, please. Any supplementary questions? Mr. Pravas, please.
माननीय महोदया, आपके द्वारा मैं मंत्री महोदया से ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि क्या आप इस बात का स्पष्टीकरण करने का कष्ट करेंगी कि इतने सारे विस्तृत कार्यक्रमों और तकनीकी साधनों की उपलब्धि से ये किसानों को किस प्रकार लाभ पहुंचाएगा?
Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Ms. Pratyusha, please.
श्रद्धेय लाल बहादुर शास्त्री जी का दिया नारा जय जवान जय किसान हम देशवासियों को जान से भी ज्यादा प्यारा है. भारतीय कृषि में तकनीकी मिशन एक केंद्रित व समयबद्ध पहल को संदर्भित करता है, जिसका उद्देश्य कृषि क्षेत्र में विशिष्ट तकनीकी चुनौतियों का सामना करना और कृषि क्षेत्र में उन्नत प्रौद्योगिकी को अपनाने के लिए बढ़ावा देना है. मैं सदन को यह बताना चाहती हूँ कि किसानों के लिए हमने प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि योजना, प्रधानमंत्री किसान मान धन योजना, प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना जैसी कई योजनाएं शुरू की है. And I would also like to inform the House that we have introduced National Beekeeping Honey Mission 2020 under Atmanirbhar Bharat. Along with that, government has taken a proactive multi-stakeholder engagement approach to achieve International Year of Millets 2023 set by UNGA in 2021 and to take Indian millets globally. Thank you.
No more supplementaries, please. Now the question hour is over. Kumari Avni, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, a serious breach of privilege has been committed by the member of the civil society, a few news channels and newspaper Mumbai while commenting on the draft of Land Acquisition Bill 2023 approved by the Parliamentary Standing Committee. All these attributed dishonest motives and expressed their doubt about the integrity of the whole political class and all the honorable members of the Parliament. I therefore request you to allow me to raise a question on that matter now.
Kumari Avni, have you given notice of it earlier? You may give due notice along with a copy of the newspaper cutting and I shall consider it. You cannot spring a surprise on me like this.
Yes, madam. I have given notice of it earlier today at 10 a.m.
It will be examined when it comes to me. I shall consider it and I'll let you know my decision. Honorable Minister of Tourism, Mr. Pushkar, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, I beg to lay on the table
a copy of each of the following in both English and Hindi versions under subsection 2 of section 394 of the Companies Act 2013. Statements regarding review by the government on the working of Chandigarh Industrial and Tourism Development Corporation Limited for the year 2020-21. Annual report of the Chandigarh Industrial and Tourism Development Corporation Limited for the year 2020 to 2021, along with audited accounts and comments of the Comptroller and Auditor General thereon.
Secretary General to report message from the Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament.
Honorable, following message received from the Secretary of the Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament. In accordance with the provisions of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament, I am directed to enclose copies of the Constitution, Schedule Cast, Orders, Amendment Bill 2023 and the National Dental Commission Bill 2023, which has been passed by the Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament.
Secretary General to lay on the table a copy of the bill passed by the Upper Chamber.
Madam, I lay on the table of the House the copies of the Constitution, Schedule Cast, Orders, Amendment Bill 2023 and the National Dental Commission Bill 2023 as passed by the Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament.
Honorable members, I have to make an announcement. On my behalf and on behalf of the honorable members of the House, I have great pleasure in extending a welcome to Her Excellency Ms. Catherine Gotali Hara, Speaker of the National Assembly of Malawi, and Mr. J.P. Mango, Minister of Health. They are on a visit to India as an honored guest. It is a high-powered delegation. The delegation arrived on 3rd of September 2023 on Sunday. They are now seated in the special box. The two parliaments represent the expectations and aspirations of the citizens. We wish them a happy and fruitful stay in our country. We also convey our warm greetings and very best wishes through them to His Excellency of Malawi, the government, and the friendly people of Malawi. Now, let us take up the calling attention motion. Ms. Pranali, Ms. Manya, Ms. Rituja, and Mr. Siddhesh, please call the attention of the concerned minister. Ms. Pranali, please.
मंत्री जी का ध्यान अति संवेदनशील विषय नगरीय बाढ़ की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहती हूँ। बाढ़ जो न केवल लोगों के विनाश का कारण बनता है, साथ ही देश के विकास को अपने पानी के तेज बहाव से रोक देता है। देश के प्रमुख शहरों में हाल ही में आई बाढ़ ने हमारी बाढ़ प्रबंधन राजनीतियों में अपर्याप्तता को उजागर किया है। बाढ़ आने से अनेक हानियां होती है, जिससे अधिक जनसंख्या प्रभावित होती है। महामारियों का फैलना, मकानों का गिरना, फसलों की बर्बादी और न जाने क्या क्या। देश में नगरीय बाढ़ पर सरकार द्वारा उठाए गए कदम पर माननीय मंत्री जी से अनुरोध है कि वे वक्तव्य दें। थैंक यू।
Mr. Siddhesh, please.
बारिश मूसलाधार, आफत धुआंधार, यमुना में उफान, जनता परेशान। महोदय, मैं माननीय मंत्री जी को बताना चाहता हूं कि उनकी सरकार द्वारा पिछले सत्र में गिनाए गए कचरा प्रबंधन, नाली सफाई एवं आपदा प्रबंधन जैसे विषय केवल हवाई किले ही निकले। ऐसा लगता है कि सरकार की हालत गांधी जी के बंदर, जो कि कभी गलत सुनते नहीं तथा कभी गलत देखते नहीं, जैसी हो गई है।
कृपया सदन की गरिमा बनाए रखें।
माफी। जुलाई माह में सामान्य वर्षा के बावजूद नालियों में अत्यधिक जल भराव के कारण दिल्ली के निचले हिस्सों में बाढ़ जैसी स्थिति उत्पन्न हो गई। अगर समय समय पर इन नालियों की सफाई सही प्रकार से की गई होती तो जनता को इस कठिन परिस्थिति का सामना नहीं करना पड़ता। अतः मैं सदन के माध्यम से सरकार से यह जानना चाहता हूं कि भविष्य में ऐसी आपदाओं से निपटने हेतु उन्होंने कौन सी ठोस रणनीति अपनाई है।
कट्टी चलाने वालों ने हाकर पतवार लहरों का तूफान मिला, शहर में लहरों का तूफान मिला और जल की मझधार में मौज हमें।
कृपया सदन की गरिमा बनाए रखें। ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट मिस्टर अर्नव प्लीज।
अध्यक्ष जी, मैं सम्मानित सदस्यों द्वारा उठाए गए चिंता की प्रशंसा करता हूं और कहना चाहता हूं कि शोर का स्वर सब बन सकते हैं, शोर का स्वर सब बन सकते हैं, सरगम होना मुश्किल है, फूल की झुलसी पंखुड़ियों पर शबनम होना मुश्किल है। और प्रश्नाकुल इस संसद को मैं बस इतना बतलाऊं, खंजर होना बहुत सरल है, मरहम होना मुश्किल है। अध्यक्ष जी, ये मरहम लगाने का कार्य हमारी सरकार ने किया है। सरकार शहरी बाढ़ की चुनौतियों को समझती है और हम बाढ़ प्रबंधन रणनीतियों को मजबूत करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। महोदय, सरकार की तरफ से राष्ट्रीय बाढ़ प्रबंधन कार्यक्रम, बाढ़ आयोग, जल संसाधन आयोग, राष्ट्रीय जल नीति और आपदा प्रबंधन समिति का गठन पहले से ही किया गया है, जो नगरीय बाढ़ के नियंत्रण और नियोजन में सक्रिय भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। मैं संसद को यह भी बताना चाहूंगा कि सरकार की नीति और मंशा दोनों जन कल्याणकारी है। हमने एक बहुआयामी दृष्टिकोण को अपनाया है, जिसमें जल निकास प्रणालियों और नगरीय नियोजन को सुधारने तथा जलवायु सहायक बुनियादी ढांचे को अपनाना शामिल है। इसके साथ ही साथ आपदा सक्रिय किया गया है। और अंत में मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि सरकार बाढ़ के इस प्रहार से निपटने के लिए 500 करोड़ का अतिरिक्त फंड सरकार प्रदान कर रही है।
मिस मान्या प्लीज।
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, सरकारी स्कूल हमेशा रोता है, सरकारी अस्पताल हमेशा बीमार होता है, गरीब अच्छी शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य खोता है और देश का चुना हुआ नेता संसद में सोता है।
प्लीज मेंटेन द डेकोरम ऑफ द हाउस।
तो मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से यह पूछना चाहती हूँ कि अगर आपको पता है कि बाढ़ आएगी और अपने साथ बीमारियां भी लाएगी, तो आपने इस समस्या को हल करने के लिए ऐसे कौन-कौन से अहम कदम उठाए हैं? कृपया इसका उत्तर देने का कष्ट करें।
ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट मिस्टर अर्नव प्लीज।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदय। इस विषय में पहले से ही उन स्थानों में बाढ़ से होने वाली बीमारियों की पूर्व सूचना प्रसारित की जा रही है। डॉक्टरों तथा नर्सों का टीम का भी गठन किया गया है। इतना ही नहीं, दवाइयों का उचित भंडार भी हमारे पास मौजूद है। स्वास्थ्य केंद्रों तथा अस्पतालों में इलाज की उचित व्यवस्था भी की गई है। और मैं अपना वक्तव्य इन कुछ चंद पंक्तियों से समाप्त करना चाहता हूं। बाढ़ पर मंथन बहुत हो चुका, अब बांधने की बारी है, इसे निपटने हेतु हमारी सब तैयारी जारी है।
मिस ऋतुजा प्लीज।
Neither cities nor the places in them are ordered or planned. The only question here is whose order, who's planning, and for what purpose? Honorable Speaker, sir, I would like to raise my concern on the rapid urbanization which often leads to improper land use and haphazard construction, exacerbating the urban flood problem. Could the minister shed light on the government's strategy to promote sustainable urban planning and enforce regulations to prevent unregulated constructions in flood-prone areas?
Honorable Minister of Urban Development, Mr. Arnav, please.
I appreciate the concern raised by the member. We are focusing on promoting sustainable urban development through strict enforcement of building codes and land use regulations. Additionally, we are incentivizing developers to implement rainwater harvesting systems and adopt green building practices. We have also initiated the development of 57 sponge parks across Chennai city. These sponge parks collect and store water during heavy rainfall, and this is an effective solution towards urban flood management, which will be implemented at other cities across India. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Home Affairs to introduce the bill.
Madam, I beg to move the bill registration of and Death Amendment Bill 2023.
The question is, leave to be granted to further amend the Registration of Births and Deaths Amendment Bill 2023. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now it is time for legislative business. Ms. Jia, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, thank you. I'm extremely honored to propose the bill to you and the House regarding Forest Conservation Amendment 2023. This bill is an amendment to the pre-existing Forest Conservation Act 1980, with the notable changes being, first up, Clause 1. The 1980 Act shall cover the forest land recorded on or after 25th of October 1980. Moving on to Clause 2. All the forest land would be termed as one and would be directly under the central government. Clause 3. Under this Act, all the state ministers are requested to declare the areas of forest cover in their respective states into various categories, such as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, community reserves, and conservatory reserves. Moving on to Clause 4. This bill aims to achieve its target by creating a carbon sink of additional 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide and has the vision of increasing forest and tree cover by 1/3 of the total land area. Moving on to Clause 5. This bill ensures the safety and well-being of the forest dwellers, wildlife, and biodiversity. Last but not the least, Clause 6. This bill also promotes ecotourism. Thank you.
Ms. Bhargavi, please.
माननीय, इस अधिनियम का विरोध करती हूँ। जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं, हरियाणा के मंगलबानी वन को 1980 से पहले एक वन माना जाता था, परंतु इस अधिनियम के तहत यह वन श्रेणियों में ही नहीं आता है। इस प्रकार ऐसे कई जंगल असुरक्षित हो गए हैं। महोदया, मैं आपका और सदन का ध्यान इस ओर खींचना चाहूंगी कि यह अधिनियम आरक्षित वनों को गैर वन क्षेत्रों में परिवर्तित करने का निर्णय लेने की शक्तियों को राज्य से केंद्र को हस्तांतरित करता है। इस प्रकार तो सत्ता शीर्ष पर ही केंद्रित है। सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, प्रत्येक राज्य को अपने अपने वन क्षेत्रों की पहचान करने को कहा गया था। कुछ ने किया जबकि कुछ ने नहीं, जिससे लाखों जंगल असुरक्षित तथा गैर आरक्षित है। धन्यवाद।
Ms. Shivi, please.
Speaker, Madam, I'd like to elaborate on the topic of ecotourism as mentioned in Clause 6 of the bill. Ecotourism is not only responsible travel to natural areas that conserve the environment, but also sustains the well-being of local people. The core principles of ecotourism include: ecotourism provides financial benefits and positive experiences for local individuals and businesses, while delivering memorable experiences for visitors traveling to places of natural beauty. Lastly, it works in partnership with local indigenous people and recognizes their rights, customs, and beliefs. I'd like to mention the name of Salumirada Thimmakka, who is an Indian environmentalist from the state of Karnataka, noted for her work in planting and tending to 385 banyan trees. She was also conferred with the Padma Shri Award in 2019. The Government of India is also working towards promoting ecotourism by the first ecotourism project of India in Thenmala near Kollam, Kerala. Thank you.
Mr. Santosh, please.
I strongly oppose this bill, as the proposed amendments could be detrimental to forests in Himalayan, Trans-Himalayan and northeastern regions, as these areas are home to the most ecologically important ecosystems in our country. I'm afraid that clearing such forests without appropriate assessment and mitigation plans will threaten their biodiversity and trigger extreme weather events. It should also be noted that the proposed amendments promote ecotourism projects which often encourage large-scale construction, which is detrimental to natural ecosystems and biodiversity. Hence, I believe that this bill should not be passed.
Mr. Siddesh, please.
माननीय महोदया, धन्यवाद। मैं सरकार द्वारा इस विधेयक के पक्ष में रखे गए कथन से असहमत हूं। एक तरफ आप पर्यावरण पर्यटन यानी इको टूरिज्म की बात करते हैं और दूसरी तरफ विकास की दौड़ यानी औद्योगिकरण में वनों की अंधाधुंध कटाई कर रहे हैं। सरकारी आंकड़ों के हिसाब से बीते 5 वर्षों में 1.09 करोड़, मैं फिर से दोहराता हूं, 1.09 करोड़ पेड़ काटे गए। कई जीवों की प्रजातियां विलुप्त होने की कगार पर हैं। जंगली जानवर जैसे बाघ एवं तेंदुए मानवीय इलाकों में आ रहे हैं, जो उन इलाकों के लोगों के लिए खतरा बन रहे हैं। जब वनों में जीव जंतु ही नहीं रहेंगे तो पर्यावरण पर्यटन का क्या मतलब होगा? आलम तो यह है कि प्रधानमंत्री चीता विदेशों से मंगवा रहे हैं और आप इको टूरिज्म की गुहार लगा रहे हैं।
साइलेंस प्लीज।
माफी। अतः मेरे विचार से यह विधेयक अपने आप में ही विरोधाभास है।
Miss Lahiri, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, I support the bill. Our ecosystem is completely dependent on the survival of our forest. How well to conserve a forest than to leave it in care of the people who know it the best? About 30 to 40% of India's population consists of the forest dwellers, and including them in the bill creates a greater impact on the society. Forest dwellers are the original inhabitants of India, for which they are called as Adivasis. During the pre-colonial period, various forest communities in India had more or less settled in deep natural forest. The Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023 proposes the protection of forest lands, which inculcates in itself the protection of rights of the people who have been residing there since ages. To conclude, I would like to express that I comply with this bill as it portrays the importance of forest and also helps in overall development of the forest communities.
Mrs. Shani, please.
I strongly oppose this bill as it denies and dilutes the Forest Rights Act, which is most important for the survival of forest dwellers in our country. For a project to get forest clearance, the consent of Gram Sabha was needed as per the FRA. But this bill completely takes away the rights of these communities and the need for their consent. Odisha has 62 tribes, out of which 13 are primitive. This bill should not pose problems for the agenda of tribal welfare, especially for the ones that are vulnerable. Unclassified utility lands are used and conserved by indigenous people populations in Sikkim. The minister should exempt these lands from the purview of the bill and transfer them to the state list. Speaker, ma'am, the presence of loopholes in this bill make it hard for us to support it.
Ms. Tushita, please.
स्पीकर महोदय, सावन का महीना और वन में नाचे मोर। महोदय, अगर वन ही ना रहेंगे तो ना तो सावन आएगा, ना ही मोरों को नाचने के लिए कोई जगह बचेगी। क्या होगा इस देश का? देवा देवा।
Mr. Yashasvi, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I completely support this bill, and a few more features for the same would be that the Act seeks to streamline the application to recorded forests, private forests, and plantations. It also provides exemptions, like encouraging afforestation and plantations outside of forest lands. This would help in tackling the issue of global warming. Adding on, it aims to contribute to India's efforts of combating climate change and also India's international commitments like net zero emissions by 2070. Furthermore, it also promotes ecotourism activities and silviculture, keeping business, health, and natural heritage in mind. This would lead to economic development of the nation.
Ms. Jia, please.
Now, I would like to request our Prime Minister to enlighten us about the bill.
Honorable Prime Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, thank you. I fully support the bill that has been put forward by the Forest Minister. Forest, wildlife, and environmental conservation are crucial components of preserving Earth's biodiversity. Effective conservation involves protected area designation, sustainable forest management, anti-poaching initiatives, and public awareness campaigns. Collaborative efforts between the government and the local communities will help in the conservation of forests, wildlife, and the environment for generations to come.
Honorable Leader of Opposition, please.
माननीय महोदया, मैंने माननीय मंत्री द्वारा प्रस्तावित बिल को ध्यान से सुना और समझा। इस बिल में कुछ कमियां हैं, पर कई खूबियां भी हैं। यह बिल वन संरक्षण के लिए सरकार द्वारा लिया गया एक अच्छा कदम है। मैं अपने सदन के सदस्यों की ओर से इस बिल का अनुमोदन करता हूं, पर मंत्री महोदया से निवेदन है कि इसके हर पहलू को अच्छी तरह विचार विमर्श करने के बाद ही लागू किया जाए।
Honorable Prime Minister, please.
These amendments will act as a milestone in the enhancement of the productivity of forests, raising plantations outside forests, and strengthening regulatory mechanism, besides catering to the livelihood aspirations of the local communities. I hope I have answered most of the points raised by the members in the course of my speech. I once again thank you for your support and seek your cooperation in implementing this measure.
Ms. Jia, please.
The views of the opposition would not go in vain. The House shall consider it. We will surely improvise upon our bill as expected by our opposition. Speaker, Madam, I am extremely confident that everyone in the House will support the bill irrespective of their party in order to conserve our forest lands. Hence, I now move that the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023 be taken into consideration.
Now, the question is that leave to be granted to introduce the bill Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now, the House will take up the private member resolution. Mr. Arjun, please.
Honorable Speaker, ma'am, I stand before this assembly today to propose a bill of utmost significance, the Online Privacy Protection Act. In our digital age, where information flows freely, the need to safeguard the privacy of our citizens' personal data is paramount. This bill, drawing its strength from our constitutional provisions and international norms, seeks to reinforce our commitment to protect the fundamental right to privacy as enshrined in the Article 21 of our Constitution. The proposed bill aligns with the right to privacy by enabling citizens to exercise control over their personal data, affirming their autonomy and freedom. It also establishes a framework that aligns with the principles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The key provisions under this bill are A. Explicit consent, B. Data security, and C. User empowerment. To ensure the effective implementation of this bill, we propose a multi-pronged strategy. Engaging with experts, technology companies, and privacy advocates will ensure that the bill is comprehensive and practical. Comprehensive awareness campaigns will educate citizens about their rights and how to exercise them. And collaboration with relevant regulatory bodies will ensure seamless enforcement mechanisms. In conclusion, the Online Privacy Protection Act is a beacon of progress in our digital era. It harmonizes our constitutional values with international norms, establishing a robust framework that respects citizens' privacy. I urge my distinguished colleagues to lend their support to this bill, as it stands as a testament to our commitment to the constitutional principles that form the bedrock of our democracy. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Pavan, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, allow me to provide the supporting data that underscores the necessities of this bill.
rising concerns. The exponential growth of digital economy has led to an increase in data collection and usage. According to a recent survey by Data Security Council of India, over 80% of Indian consumers are concerned about the misuse of their personal data. Data breaches. Data breaches have become alarmingly common. A recent report by a cybersecurity firm noted that India witnessed 37% in data breaches last year alone. These breaches not only expose sensitive information but also lead to potential identity theft and financial fraud. Global trends. Several countries have enacted similar legislations to safeguard online privacy. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, serves as a model emphasizing transparency, consent, and data protection.
Ms. Ashika, please.
माननीय महोदय, जैसे हम अभी ऑनलाइन प्राइवेसी के महत्व को समझते हैं, हमें ये बिल सावधानीपूर्वक मूल्यांकन करना होगा। इसमें उल्लिखित कठोर नियम और दंड अनजाने में नवाचारों और आर्थिक विकास को अवरुद्ध कर सकते हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त डाटा उल्लंघनों के लिए कड़े दंड स्टार्टअप्स को प्रतिकूल रूप से प्रभावित कर सकते हैं और डिजिटल अर्थव्यवस्था के विकास में बाधा डाल सकते हैं। हमें ऐसा कानून बनाना चाहिए जो वास्तव में हमारे नागरिकों और व्यापार को लाभ पहुंचाए। मैं माननीय मंत्री से प्रस्तावित विधेयक को अस्थायी रूप से वापस लेने का आग्रह करती हूं।
Now, the question is that the Online Privacy Protection Act 2023 will enforce human rights and establish constitutional principles. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Those who are against it will please say no. No. I think the noes have it, the noes have it, the noes have it. The resolution is withdrawn. The House is adjourned for today. We shall meet tomorrow at 11 a.m.